Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you haven't seen my last video on tips and tricks on getting into the dental hygiene program, go back and watch that now. I mentioned a couple of times in that video that I was going to be filming a separate video on the interview process and how mine went and everything. That's what this is now. So yeah, if you have any questions that I didn't answer, just leave that down below. I'll comment or make a follow-up video. I'm going to first talk about like my interview, and then I'll talk about common questions that are asked and answers that you can give. Whenever I was applying and getting ready for my interview, there weren't many videos on YouTube, so I wanted to just add to this very short list, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so first and foremost, this is what I wore to my interview, exactly this. It's super comfortable, and yeah, that's my first tip. Definitely wear something that you're not going to be like squirming around in the whole time, or like nothing that's too short or too like tight or anything like that. Okay, so let me just start by saying when I first walked in, I was so nervous. Like my heart was beating so fast that it was kind of hard to even talk, because like, again, if you watched my last video, it was the only school I applied to, and I knew I did not want to wait a whole other year for other schools to start accepting and other semesters to start up again. So my heart was beating out of my chest. I was so nervous. It was with the program director and an instructor. Okay, so immediately I sat down and we rapidly went through this checklist, which was for the point system. Along with the interview questions, they sent the checklist for the point system, so I kind of already knew what I was gonna get. I got points for having a previous degree, having my RDA license, having experience, observation hours. With the experience, it has to be at least 3 years of experience. Some prereqs like your science classes, in your HESI score, of course, with a score of a 90 or above. The rest of the points were awarded during the interview, like eye contact and, you know, clear sentences and stuff like that, I guess. Now for the question part. So the first question she asked me was, what did I think an RDH does? Like, you know, the RDH is on the preventative side of dentistry. They're the ones that you see that's gonna kind of, and don't say it like how I'm saying it, because I'm just saying it to y'all, but, you know, polish this answer. It was something like, you're on the preventative side of dentistry. They're the ones you see to maintain your oral health. They're the ones that are going to take care of your oral health and educate you on ways that you can improve and avoid, like, you know, the big stuff, like, you know, things like that. I mean, y'all know what RDHs do. That's why we're all going in there, right? Okay, so I mentioned that my interview was like the best it could have ever been, and this is why. The next question they asked me was, how long did I want to be in RDH? And I was gonna give like this big in-depth answer with like backstory and everything. So I started off and said, being from Nigeria, and I was gonna start saying like, you know, dentistry isn't that big of a deal there, and like, you know, just based on like what my parents said. When I told them I wanted to be a dentist at first, they were immediately like, oh my god, no, you're not gonna eat, you're not gonna survive, like, you know, no one goes or cares, you know, kind of thing like that. And I figured, you know, okay, it's because in Nigeria, dentistry is not such a big deal. It's not like emphasized like it is here. You go twice a year. Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. But as soon as I said being from Nigeria, the program director was like, oh, what part? And instantly I was like, oh, like Imo State? But then she was like, oh, I know Imo State. My husband went there and blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, just started telling me all this stuff. And they instantly both were like, how come Nigerians have such great teeth? Because, you know, like dentistry, they kind of went in like dentistry isn't as emphasized as it is here, but their teeth are amazing, you know, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's amazing that you even know about that. They use like the chewing stick. And she literally opened her desk and pulled out a chewing stick from Nigeria. I was like, this could not be going better. Like, relatability. So I was instantly like, oh my god. And I was still nervous, so I was really just trying to like dwell on the fact that she had a chewing stick in her desk instead of like moving on to the next question. So I immediately was just like catching my breath, like, oh my god, like that's so amazing. I cannot believe you have a chewing stick. Like, wow, and you know so much about Nigeria, and you know Imo State, and wow, like when did you go? And it quickly like turned into that, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, I love that, and I want to, you know, just doing all of that and, you know, being relatable and being happy, and they were like really happy with that. Ever since then, really, we kind of went off script for the whole list. Like, that was pretty much the last question they asked me as far as my interview questions that they sent, because it was straight up from there, just relatability, different stories and you know, expectations, and I was talking about like my passion for dentistry, and without them even asking me questions, they were taking notes and we're all laughing. Then they were asking me questions at the end. So at the end of your interview, when they ask you, do you have any questions, definitely have some good questions that you want to ask about your field. Especially now, if you guys are having interviews in person, ask about where they see the trajectory of the dental hygiene field because of COVID. Ask about other, like, you know, things in the field and about the program. Of course, you want them to know that you are excited about the program that you're applying to. Now we're going to go into common interview questions that you may be asked and answers that you could get. What are your strengths and weaknesses? I learned this technique from another girl who got into a dental hygiene program on YouTube. I don't remember her name, but if I find it, I'll put it here somewhere because her video helped me so much. In fact, I'm going to look for it and put it in the description box. But when they ask like, what are your strengths? Obviously say what your strengths are. Pick something that applies to dental hygiene. Don't say like anything like dexterity or something like that, because I feel like they're gonna see right through that. But if you say something like, oh, I'm super personable, and obviously show that you're personable during the interview, don't say it if you're not. Just pick something that actually applies to the characteristics of a dental hygienist. And whenever it comes to your weaknesses, start off by saying, in the past I blank, but now I blank, or I'm trying, or I'm getting better, and stuff like that. I learned that from that girl. Shout out to you. Another question that's common would be, tell me about yourself. The obvious rule is you want to say things about yourself that apply to what you're interviewing for. For example, you would say, so I am 25 years old, I majored in biology, I fell in love with dentistry whenever X, Y, and Z, and then I decided that I wanted to be a dental hygienist because this and this and this. I feel like I would be great for it because my personality, blah, blah, blah. Some questions that I see from my actual interview: what is your understanding of your time commitment to this program? Definitely say like you understand that this is going to be your entire life. You're going to have no time for work, fun, social, anything like that, but you're super ready to do that because this is what you've been wanting to do for X amount of time, you know? Something else that they ask you, you have to be prepared to answer because it could happen, but do you have a plan B if you don't get into this program? Obviously, most programs are only accepting like 24 and under applicants, so what is your plan B? I would say that, and hopefully this is true for you guys, but because this is something that I know that I really want to do, I would definitely take your feedback into consideration and apply again next year, because this is where I want to be, and this is the career path that I know is chosen for me, you know, something like that. Another common question I know that they ask is, how do you handle stress? I would say that you handle stress in processes, you know. I don't even know how to answer, I'm so sorry y'all, but I know that you probably shouldn't say like, oh, I like stress, stress is a good thing, stress is what, you know, motivates me to do X, Y, and Z. I feel like they will see right through that. They'll be like, oh, okay, like you love stress. Don't say that, but at the same time I don't really know what to say, so I couldn't help you there. And with that, I am going to wrap up this video. So guys, try to remember at the end of the day, just be honest, because if you can't answer those questions honestly, that's probably a sign of like what you should be pursuing career-wise. If you liked the video, like the video and subscribe to my channel. The next video I'm going to do is why I chose dental hygiene versus dentistry, the differences and similarities between both of those subjects. So yeah, just keep on watching, subscribe to my channel, and I will chat with y'all later.